Motivation is loud in the beginning. It cheers, it fires you up. But when the noise fades and no one's watching, what's left? That's where most people fall off, because they waited for feeling instead of building habit. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It shows up anyway. It doesn't need a spark. It is the engine. You don't build greatness on mood swings. You build it with quiet consistency when your body's tired, your mind is screaming, and you still show up. Because in the end, motivation starts projects, but only discipline finishes legacies. Every January, the world gets excited. New year, new plans, new energy. But come February, the gym's empty, the journals close, the goals collect dust. Why? Because people relied on motivation. They thought the fire would burn forever, but fires go out without fuel, and the fuel isn't hype, it's habit. Motivation is like a sparkler, bright, exciting, but gone in minutes. Discipline is the slow burn, the one that turns bricks into buildings day by day, hour by hour. And the truth? Discipline is painful in the short term, but so is regret. You get to choose your pain, the pain of staying committed or the pain of staying stuck. Anyone can get excited when it's easy, but discipline shows up when it's not. When it's dark outside and you're running on 4 hours of sleep. When your friends are relaxing and you're still at the desk. When the results are slow, the doubts are loud, and no one's cheering you on. That's where most people quit. But that's also where champions are made. See, motivation is external. It waits for something to happen. Discipline is internal. It decides something will happen. The difference between average and unstoppable isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the ability to wake up on day 50 when it's boring and hard and thankless and still keep going. The world is full of dreamers, people who start with passion but fold under pressure, because they were chasing inspiration, not building discipline. But here's the truth. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move. Progress doesn't come to the emotional, it comes to the consistent. It's not the days you feel powerful that change your life. It's the days you feel nothing and still choose to grind, because those are the days that sharpen you. Those are the days that separate the hopeful from the relentless. So here's the real question. Can you do it without the applause? Can you show up without the fire? Can you still go when your body's aching and your mind says skip today? Because that's discipline, and that's what builds empires. Your future doesn't care how motivated you were last week. It cares what you built today. So stop chasing sparks. Build a fire that doesn't go out. And remember, discipline builds what motivation will never finish. Number 1, the lie of motivation. You were told that motivation is the key, that once you feel ready, you'll act, that if you just stay inspired, everything will fall into place. But let me ask you something. Where was motivation the last time you woke up exhausted, staring at your goals like a mountain you didn't want to climb? Motivation is a performance. It's a highlight reel. It's the adrenaline rush right before a sprint. But life isn't a sprint. It's a marathon with no cheering crowds, no medals handed out at every checkpoint, and no camera zooming in on your struggles. People keep waiting for the perfect mood to take action. They want to feel it before they move. But successful people, they move first. Then the feeling follows. Because winners understand something most people ignore. Emotion is a luxury. Discipline is a responsibility. Look around. The graveyards are full of people who had potential, great ideas, big goals, but they never built the discipline to carry them, because emotion failed them when it mattered most. Do you think champions wake up every day fired up? Do you think the writer types every page inspired? Do you think the builder lays every brick with passion? No, but they still show up. Motivation is temporary permission. Discipline is permanent commitment. It's the difference between making promises and keeping them. It's the gap between wanting success and earning it. See, Discipline doesn't need a reason. It doesn't ask how you feel. It's a contract you sign with your future, and you show up whether it rains, shines, or the world burns. Most people quit because they built their life on a weak foundation, feelings, but the ones who last, they build on principles, and the strongest principle of all is discipline. Number 2, discipline is doing it when it's boring. Everyone loves the start, the first day of the gym, the launch of the business, the new notebook, the new goal, the new chapter. But very few people love day 47, when no one's clapping, when progress is invisible, when it's just you and the silence. That's where motivation dies. That's where most people tap out, because they were chasing excitement, not excellence. Discipline steps in when motivation checks out, because discipline doesn't rely on novelty. It thrives in routine. It finds strength in repetition. It becomes sharper in boredom, because true growth isn't glamorous. It's messy, repetitive, quiet. Winners master the mundane. You don't see them bragging about their early mornings. They just wake up. You don't see them post every gym session. They just go. They're not doing it for applause. They're doing it for alignment. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a weapon. It's what keeps you aligned when distractions try to pull you off course. It's the inner voice that says, I don't care how I feel. I care who I'm becoming. Because the enemy of success isn't always failure. Sometimes it's comfort. And if you only show up when it's exciting, you'll never cross the finish line. Let them underestimate you. Let them laugh. Let them think you're obsessed, boring, robotic. Because while they chase every shiny trend, you're crafting results brick by brick, silently. Discipline doesn't need to be seen, it just needs to work. So ask yourself, are you in love with the goal, or are you married to the process? Because love fades, but a marriage, it survives the storms. Number 3, motivation is a visitor, discipline is a resident. Motivation will show up with fireworks. It'll bring a playlist, a pump-up speech, maybe even a new outfit. But it doesn't stay. It's a visitor. It's there for the highlight reel, not the hard days. Discipline? Discipline moves in, unpacks its bags, builds a bed right next to your doubts and tells them, I live here now. Because motivation knocks, but discipline kicks the door in and goes to work. Discipline isn't pretty. It's not always inspiring. It shows up with sore muscles. It shows up with 3 hours of sleep. It shows up when the scale hasn't moved, when no one congratulates you, when the results are slow and your progress feels invisible. And yet, it keeps showing up. Because discipline is loyal to your future, not your feelings. This is where most people quit. They confuse delay with defeat. They think, if I'm not seeing progress, I must be doing it wrong. But discipline knows the truth. Every day you show up, you're stacking invisible bricks. And one day, the wall will be unbreakable, not because of one big day, but because of 1,000 small ones. You can't build a kingdom on mood. You build it on movement, day in, day out, especially when it's hard. So while the world waits for the perfect time, while they binge motivation videos and complain that success hasn't found them yet, you keep working in the shadows, because you're not chasing hype, you're building habits, and habits beat hype, every single time. Number 4, emotional decisions don't build long-term results. Every time you wait to feel like it, you're gambling with your goals, because emotions are unstable, they're unpredictable. One moment you're excited, the next, you're drained. One good day, you're dreaming big. One bad night, you're doubting everything. That's why motivation doesn't build legacies. It's too emotional. It chases inspiration but runs from resistance. It wants to feel good, not do what's necessary. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what needs to be done. It respects your dreams too much to let your moods ruin them. If your actions are controlled by your feelings, then your future will be controlled by your excuses. And the dangerous part? Excuses always sound smart in the moment. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not in the right headspace. I just need a little break. But the truth is, most people aren't burnt out. They're just undisciplined. They're not tired. They're just comfortable. And comfort doesn't build anything worth remembering. Discipline lives where motivation dies. In the unglamorous, in the boring, in the reps nobody sees. It's brushing your teeth every day, even when no one praises you. It's writing the next page when the last one didn't feel great. It's going to the gym when the scale hasn't moved. It's investing again when the market dropped last week. It's making the call, sending the email, doing the work, even when it doesn't feel like progress, because discipline isn't emotional, it's intentional. You won't always love the process. You're not supposed to. But the goal isn't to be in love with the grind. It's to be in love with the result that the grind builds. And no result worth having has ever come from quitting just because you weren't in the mood. Number 5, the quiet war between who you are and who you could be. There's a battle going on every single day, not out there, but inside of you. It's not about other people. It's not about competition. It's between two versions of you. The one that wants comfort, ease, and short-term pleasure, and the one that's begging for growth, mastery, and purpose. Discipline is the side that stands up for your future. It defends the version of you that isn't born yet, but wants to be. The version that's stronger, sharper, more focused. The version that doesn't flinch when things get hard. They only exist if you fight for them. Not once, not for a week, but every single day. Every morning you wake up, your current self has two choices: repeat the cycle or rewrite the story. Shrink into who you've always been, or stretch into who you're meant to be. And most people, they lose that battle, quietly. Not because they're weak, but because they don't realize how high the stakes really are. They think skipping one workout is just a day off. They think procrastinating on that project is just a break. They think letting one habit slide won't matter. But it matters, because you're not just losing time, you're training yourself to surrender. Every compromise sends a message to your brain. This is fine. Let's just stay here. Discipline sends a different message. I'm not there yet, but I'm coming for it anyway. And the longer you choose discipline over distraction, the more the war inside you begins to shift. You start making decisions based on values, not feelings. You start showing up for yourself, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. That's when the real transformation happens. Not in your bank account, not in your body, but in your identity. Because discipline isn't just a practice, it's a statement. It says, I take myself seriously. It says, I'm not interested in excuses. It says, I'm done flirting with potential. I'm building it. So now you know, motivation may start the race, but it's discipline that crosses the finish line. It's not the fire that burns hot for a moment. It's the steady flame that refuses to go out. The truth? Most people will never finish what they start, not because they can't, but because they rely too much on feeling. They wait to be inspired. They wait for the mood to be right. And while they wait, time moves, opportunities fade, and potential, it turns into regret. But you don't have to live like that. Every day is a choice. Every action is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Not the loud one, not the flashy one, but the one who keeps showing up when no one's clapping. That's discipline. That's the real power. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to be motivated. Be the person who moves anyway, who builds anyway, who finishes what they start, even if it takes longer, even if no one notices. Because the reward isn't just in the results. It's in knowing you did what most people wouldn't. That's how legacies are built.